Casanovians. Yes, yes, the Casanovians. Yes, yes, Christian, you looking like an absolute demigod right now. Jeez. The most fuckable man on the planet? I think so. So yeah, what we're going to do in this live stream is I'm going to teach you how to become a social beast in 2026 because that's probably why you're watching my content. Yeah, you want to become a social beast. You want to become the most socially electric version of yourself. You want to be able to approach any woman, anywhere, anytime, not have this constant overthinking going on in your mind that holds most men back today. You want to be able to walk into any room and know you are the most socially capable man in that room. So that's what we're going to do in this live stream. Me and you together, I'm going to help you become a social beast in 2026. And everything that I say, I know it's worked because it's worked for me. Having started off in my life as a porn addict with erectile dysfunction, looked like complete horseshit. Again, go back, look at the oldest videos on my channel. Yeah, and then you'll know I'm not talking out my ass. And the things that I'm going to install into you in this live stream, they've also worked for over 200 of my clients who've worked with me one-on-one. So all you need to do is sit on your ass, listen to what I'm saying, and then go out into the world, my little pumpkin, and go and implement it. But to make it even more practical, what I've done is I've made a decision to disrupt the entire dating industry. Because let's be real, most dating coaches, they're shit, right? Most dating advice is horseshit because that's why you're still stuck. It's because you're following bad advice from people who don't know what they're talking about. So what I've done is I've taken the best cold approach content ever produced online, all my content, of course, and I've put it into a free school community. So first link below this video, you'll be able to access over 60 hours of the best cold approach content ever produced. So in-person demonstrations, you'll be able to see me working with my clients one-on-one in the field. You'll be able to see men just like you transform their dating lives using cold approach. Yeah, no dating apps, no nightclubs, no social circles. You'll be able to listen to deep dives on how to overcome rejection, how to get over approach anxiety, how to stop caring what other people think of you. You don't need to pay me a penny. It's all available right now. First link below this video. So once you've finished this live stream and you've learned how to become a social beast, the content first link below will just take all of that and send it to the moon. So yeah, I hope that you're excited about this because I'm on right now, not on my period. I'm on godly frequency. I just feel incredible, and I want to immortalize this moment into a piece of content, and I want to channel my godly frequency over to you because it's New Year's Eve today, right? It's New Year's Eve. So I want us all to venture into the new year and become absolute social beasts, social weapons who can achieve anything that we want in this world, right? Are you with me? You want this, yeah? You want to become a fucking social beast. Drop the live stream a like if you want to become a social beast in 2026 and you're ready to eliminate the excuses, you're done with all the bullshit, you don't want to be another NPC who's sleepwalking his way through life and wakes up when his best years are behind him. You want to be an action taker. You want to be a social beast, and that's what we're going to do on this live stream. So if you're ready to get started, this is probably going to be one of my most valuable live streams I've ever produced. So drop the live stream a like if you're ready to become a social beast. And let's go balls deep. There is actually one thing I'd say before we start. Hopefully the way I started this live stream triggered somebody, right? The way that I'm looking at myself, the way I'm talking to myself, like, fuck yes, Christian, you are the most fuckable man on the planet. You're an absolute demigod. Jeez, look at you. You look incredible. This triggers so many low-frequency morons because I don't know if you might be somebody from the UK, but the thing that I detest the most about UK culture is the way that people talk about other people who have irrational joy in themselves, yeah? Because in the UK, especially, might be similar in the US. No, I don't think it's the same in the US. I think you've got more blue sky thinkers. But certainly in the UK, if you love yourself, that's treated as a toxic trait. I'm thinking of the old biddies down the laundrette. And they'll be like, oh, have you heard about Jason? Oh, he's just gone for that new job. Oh, he must love himself. Oh, yeah, who does he think he is? It's this like retarded, crabs in the bucket mentality. Yeah? And it's toxic, and it infects and castrates men of their confidence. So I've had to relearn and unlearn a lot of things. I was brought up in a culture where you were shamed if you loved yourself. You were shamed if you had confidence in yourself. And the way that I see confidence now is I believe somebody is truly confident if you can spend time with them and they make you confident. Because confidence, it's contagious, right? But a lot of times, especially in the UK, if you're that guy who believes in himself, who's got these empire visions, if you want to become a social beast and improve your life, because God forbid that's somehow a pejorative, oh, he loves himself. Who does he think he is? Because here's the thing, right? People want to see you do well. They don't want to see you do better than them because it holds a mirror up to who they could have been, right? Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. I don't want to be surrounded by these low-life losers, right? I don't want to be surrounded by B players and C players. I want to be surrounded by A players, guys who lift me up, guys whose confidence is contagious. Like, I'm going all the way to the top. I'm taking my people with me. But if you're in the UK, especially right now, I understand it's the dead of winter. You might feel a bit depressed. Maybe you're working a shitty job and it's the office politics and everybody's scared of putting their head above the parapet. You've got all the bullshit gossip going on. Horseshit, nonsense. But the reason why I put these live streams out and the reason why I'm so prolific with my content is because I just want to brainwash you into achieving whatever you want. Yeah, don't think that your dreams are too big. Yeah, if people are shaming you for wanting to go out there and cold approach, if people are shaming you for wanting to improve your life, if people are shaming you because you want more from yourself, fuck them. Who gives a shit? Get around better people, right? Because I think that there's so many men today who know that they're capable of more. They want more, not just for themselves, but for their future family, for the mother of their children, to show a former version of them that they can achieve things that they set their mind to. But I think environment is a big thing. Yeah, and the thing that I hate the most about UK culture is this crabs in the bucket mentality. So if you love yourself right now, if you've got delusional optimism and irrational faith in your own capabilities, then fucking good luck to you. Never let anybody take your dreams away from you. Because these people, they're toxic, horseshit, get rid of them. So I just wanted to start off with that. We haven't started in the live stream yet, but yeah, dude, if you're ready to become a social beast in 2026, then that's what we're going to do. But I do think that first point that I've made there is so crucial because your internal state will dictate your external reality. And if you're surrounded by people who are bringing you down, who are giving you shame, who are shooting bullshit towards you, oh, stay in your lane, who do you think you are? Oh, cold approach, why do you want to do that, bro? It's creepy, it's low value. You have to meet your future wife on Tinder. Yeah, I get it. I do understand what it's like to be around these low value losers. But if there's one thing you take away from my content is the way you start isn't the way you finish, right? When I first started making videos, I was getting feedback. I was getting people who were telling me I was ugly, stay in your lane, who do you think you are? Yeah, it's feedback, you need it because I don't know about you, but if you're anything like me, if people tell me I can't do something, if people criticize me, if people try and drag me down, that's my fuel. That becomes my motivation. Yeah, I think I'm masochistic in that way, but I don't know. I just think it's important. I just wanted to put it out there. I just wanted to say, I fucking love you. I don't even know who you are, but I love you. And I want the best for you. That's why I'm putting all this shit out there for free. All right? So, okay, how to become a social beast in 2026. So the first thing I'm going to say, and I've never said this publicly before, but if you just apply one of the things that I talk about in these live streams, you're already going to be ahead in 2026. So the first thing that I want you to do, if you want to become a social beast in 2026 and beyond, is to have an outcome in mind for every social interaction, okay? I've never spoke about this publicly before, and it might take a little while to wrap your head around it, but when you understand it, it will change the way that you approach women, interact with colleagues, it will change the way you show up on sales calls, or the way you show up in every single social interaction, and it's something that nobody does, okay? And I didn't realize I was doing it until I was at Muay Thai today, and I don't know if you do martial arts, but for me, martial arts, cold approach, skydiving, all these things became meditations in my life where there's no screen, you can't be distracted by the dopamine devils. It's just you're in the ring, you're getting 10 bells kicked out of you. You're in this high frequency state where there's no distractions. I was thinking to myself, what is the reason why I come to the Muay Thai gym? Okay, and this is all going to make sense in a moment, so please listen. The reason why I go to the Muay Thai gym is I'm searching for particular feelings, right? I go to the Muay Thai gym because I want to feel alive. I want to feel this sensation of peace, Like when I train, like intense physical training, I feel at peace. It feels like a relief to my nervous system. I feel as though I walk out the Muay Thai gym, I feel 10 feet tall, I'm in this high frequency state. It's like the removal of doubt. Yeah, I don't have these anxious thoughts anymore. Even though when I wake up in the morning, usually I'm getting bombarded by so much bullshit. But I go to the Muay Thai gym, I do intense physical activity, I walk out there, and the reason why I can show up on this live stream right now and be in this high frequency state is because I went to the Muay Thai gym. But the reason I went to the Muay Thai gym, the outcome I had in mind was I want to feel this certain way. Okay? So if you understand this, dude, it's going to put you so far ahead because nobody does this. And we're going to relate it to cold approach. The reason why so many guys are not getting the results from cold approach that they want, and by result, I mean having cold approach conversations that convert into dates and beyond, is because they're going into conversations without having decided the outcome, okay? We're going to get deep here. This is so fucking juicy. I wish I had this available to me when I started cold approach. It would have saved me so many fucking years, mate. So what happens with most guys when you're first starting cold approach, or maybe you've done a couple of hundred approaches right now, so you're not a beginner anymore, but maybe you're still struggling to get points on the board. Usually what happens is you're approaching with the intention to approach, yeah? And the problem with this is the conversation will give back to you what the intention is that you set. So a lot of guys, they're going into their conversations and they think they're going into their conversations to get a phone number, to get a date, to get a happy ending. But subconsciously, they're going into their cold approach conversations and the outcome that their subconscious wants to achieve is validation, is approval, not getting the number, right? And this is one of those hidden forces that quietly will sabotage your success with women and everything that you do, because you need to have a crystal clear outcome. Yeah, because put it this way, okay? If you walk over to a woman today and the outcome that you've set is you want to be on a date with that woman, right? What's going to happen is you're going to walk into that conversation and you're going to stay in the conversation longer than you feel comfortable because you understand you want to get the dates, right? But what happens with most guys is because subconsciously they go into their conversation seeking validation, approval. Maybe they just really hope the woman stops and smiles. Then what they will do is, because they've gone into the conversation with the outcome of getting validation, which might be in the form of a smile, then what will happen, as soon as they've observed the outcome they wanted to achieve, they will leave the conversation. This is why, if you've ever been in a cold approach conversation before and you felt this intense feeling to eject early from the conversation, usually that happens because you've not set the outcome. Because if you set an outcome to get a date with this woman, then what that's going to allow you to do is override this feeling. Because if you want to get a date with this woman, you're probably going to have to stay in the conversation for at least 5 minutes, right? You're going to have to build investment. You're going to have to talk about the details of the date during the conversation. This is another reason why guys don't get dates from daytime cold approach. It's because they don't talk about the details of the date during the conversation. So where are you going to take her? What's the venue? What time? What does she need to wear? People are less likely to bail on plans they've already committed to. But the problem is, most guys are cold approaching like accidents, right? Because they're not going into the conversation with an outcome in mind, then they just bail at the first opportunity that they've seen that rewards the subconscious thing that they were going into the conversation for. Okay, so everything that you do from this point forward, decide the outcome in advance. I go to Muay Thai because I want to feel this sensation of godly frequency. And I understand the only way that I get there is if I really push myself hard, okay? Like, I'm a complete masochist. Like, when I go to the Muay Thai gym, there's this thing that we do in between rounds where usually in between rounds, they'll get you to do push-ups or sit-ups. But sometimes what they do in between rounds is as you're doing sit-ups, they'll get a heavy pad and they'll slap you on the stomach for 20 reps. And what I do, because I understand the outcome I want when I go to the Muay Thai gym is feeling godly frequency. And the only way for me to achieve that is to push myself beyond my limit. What I do is I request the heavy bag or the heavy pad slapping me. Because the outcome that I've got is I want to achieve godly frequency. I want the removal of doubt. I want to walk out the Muay Thai gym being able to say to myself, I couldn't do anything else, right? So I actively dive bomb into discomfort and run towards resistance like my life depends on it because I know the outcome that I want, right? If you apply this one thing and you actually understand what I'm talking about, it will explode everything that you do because most guys, they get stuck in this pattern of thinking just approaching more women will get them better results. No, it's not about counting your approaches. It's making your approaches count. And the way you make your approaches count is before you approach any woman, decide what outcome you want to have achieved, right? Because if you're walking into your cold approach conversations, you've not set an outcome, then most likely you might bail on the conversation, you might leave the conversation too early. If you've not set the outcome to get a date, you probably won't talk about the details of the date. So everything's just a mess because you've not set the outcome. Now, there's a lot of theory in this space that you should be detached from outcome when you approach somebody. And I've flirted with this idea for years, and I do understand the point, what people are trying to convey, but for me, it's like telling a guy who's starving to forget about food, right? It's like, good luck with that one, dude. Like, the brain needs, or the mind, it needs an outcome to focus on, right? Otherwise, if I'm at the Muay Thai gym and my coach is telling me to kick in a certain way or to twist my body, I need to understand why. Like, why am I doing that? What's the outcome that we're trying to achieve? Otherwise, it just feels like wanking in the wind, right? So the biggest shift you can make in 2026 to become a social beast, to have dates on demand with wife-worthy women, to become intoxicatingly magnetic, is set the outcome in mind before you go into your conversation. And this applies to everything. You might walk into a Starbucks today and there might be a moderately attractive barista behind the counter. You might have an outcome to make her laugh, to make her smile. You might have an outcome to ask her, how's her day going today? The outcome needs to be set ahead of time. So it's like, if my intention, or if the outcome I want to achieve is to make the barista laugh, then it allows me to prepare myself ahead of time. Like, right, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? How am I going to interact with this girl? So the outcome needs to be set. And the problem that most guys are facing today is they think more effort, more motivation is going to fix all the dating problems. No, one of the biggest shifts you can make, and this is running on the assumption that you already are a guy who's got value to give, right? This goes without saying at this point, but if you're a low-life loser, if you're fuck ugly, if you're out of shape, if you dress terribly, if you've got awful mental hygiene, like, dude, this is not the channel for you, right? I help guys who are already doing well, I help them do better, right? So you need to have a base level of fuckability, right? You can't be some basement-dwelling moron who looks like shit, is completely out of shape, and expect that cold approach is going to be a cheat code into the sexual marketplace for you. It's not, right? It's an amplifier, right? It will amplify the man that you already are. I've talked about this at length. I'm past the point of saying it now. But essentially, if you're a retard, cold approach is not going to work for you. And that might piss people off. Oh, how can you say that? You're killing dreams. No, I'm telling people what they need to know, not what they want to hear, right? If you're somebody at the moment and you are working a job you hate in a city you despise, if you are depressed, if you've got awful hygiene, if your grooming is terrible, you should spend this year becoming fuckable, right? I did it 5 years ago, right? And it's not even a case of you need to be the finished product. I think the thing that I really look for in guys is, do you have life momentum behind you? Like, are you building something? Are you going somewhere? Are you being action focused, right? It's just an important thing to keep in mind, because becoming a social beast, mastering the art of daytime cold approach, it works as long as you do, but you need to be the version of yourself who cold approach can work for. So yeah, I would say access the content in my school community. It's completely free. First link below this video. That will give you practical things that anybody can do. But we also talk about advanced mindset reprogramming, how you can actually become a more fuckable version of yourself. And I would say start off with that content. You might not be in a position right now where coaching is even going to do anything for you, because you might just need to take 6 months to lose some weight, get better social skills, meet some people who can be your friends, get interested in passions and hobbies. Like a lot of guys are further behind than they actually realize, and they think that, oh, cold approach is going to solve all my problems. No, it works as long as you do, but you need to become the version of yourself who cold approach can work for. I'm just saying it as it is, dude. So having an outcome in mind. And by the way, as we're going to continue now, I'm going to assume that you're like the guys who I work with, right? Maybe you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, you're a successful guy with a successful career. You might be a digital nomad. You might be somebody who's building things, right? You've got momentum behind you. So that's who I'm talking to right now. I'm not talking to the other fucking catalog of losers, but it's just, you're just not my market. There's probably some guy online who's charging you $99 to learn how to fucking talk to a girl. So maybe go learn from him. Right. The next thing to become a social beast in 2026 is getting comfortable with social injury, okay? Getting comfortable with social injury. What does that mean? So what I've found to be true is if you can learn to become comfortable with things that most people avoid, you will do very well in social situations, okay? Because something that I've learned after working with over 200 guys is a lot of guys are terrified of the social spotlight, okay? They're terrified of what other people are going to think of them. And this is understandable, okay? Because if you actually understand the reason why you have these fears, then information it's something that can really help you understand yourself. So just as a quick elevator pitch, the reason why you have approach anxiety and the reason why you're scared of what other people think of you, it's primitive programming, okay? Because, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago, we used to exist in tribes around 150 people. That's Dunbar's number, 150 people. So if you were to approach a woman in the caveman days and she said no thank you, it would have meant your DNA wasn't worthy of replication. So rejection back then, it didn't just mean embarrassment, it meant exile. Yeah, it meant getting shunned from the tribe. So no shelter, no food, no reproduction. So we've carried that primitive programming into the modern day. But the problem is today, that primitive programming is amplified by modern society, right? Modern society keeps this primal fear alive. If you go into the internet today, you'll see social media trying to make you fit into some cookie cutter image of what a man should be. Dating apps teach you avoidance. The school system taught you if you get a question wrong, you're stupid, right? So you've got all this bullshit going through your mind right now. But the good news is you can unlearn the conditioning. Yeah, this is really what I do for the guys that I work with. I'm not teaching you anything new. All the information's already here. I'm helping you unlearn all of the nonsense that's holding you back. Because the thing that I make guys aware of is your natural confidence is already there. Yeah, it's just buried under years of social conditioning, compliance, sedation, and you start calling that yourself. Yeah. So it's the same way that every guy already has a six-pack. It's just buried under a layer of fat. Your natural confidence is already there. It's just buried underneath bullshit. So when I say getting used to social injury, and keep in mind as well, if you want to approach a woman today and you feel the spotlight effect, you're worried what other people think of you, that's normal, okay? It's wired into our DNA. You're not broken. You're not there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have, approach anxiety. You just lack practice, okay? This is the thing that guys don't understand. They start to diagnose themselves with these false illnesses. Like, I can't approach women because I have approach anxiety. No, you don't have approach anxiety, dude. You just lack practice, right? Social anxiety is not real. Social anxiety is the name that we give to somebody who's just not talking to enough people, right? I used to say I had social anxiety when I was a kid. Really, I just lacked practice. I lacked being able to accept social injury. So the decision that I made at 13 years old was to become a magician. So I would approach people around parks in the Lake District and ask them if they wanted to see some magic. And that was a big deal for me. It took me about 2 months to pluck up the courage to finally approach this woman sat on a park bench and tepidly walk over being like, excuse me, can I show you the magic trick? And it was interesting as well because the more I started to practice my social abilities, not a lot of people know this about me, but I actually had a YouTube channel when I was around 14 or 15 years old. So I used to perform magic on YouTube. I didn't show my face, I was too insecure for that. But one of my biggest fears, and this is actually crazy when I think about it, do you know what one of my biggest fears was? To put magic videos out online. Nobody knows this and nobody would ever guess it. I used to be cripplingly insecure about a certain body part of mine. right? And nobody knows this about me. My pinky finger, I don't know if you can see, my pinky fingers are crooked, right? My mum's got the same. My mum's pinky fingers are also crooked, but she got hers trapped in a gate one time, so hers is like in fucking Neptune. But I used to be so insecure. I was scared because obviously when you're performing magic, the focus is on your hands. So my deepest fear when I was putting magic videos on YouTube was, what if people see my crooked pinky finger and they don't like me? You know, I get disapproved of. And this literally used to keep me awake at night. I would upload videos onto my old magic channel, and I would look the next day, look through the comments to make sure nobody mentioned my pinky finger. It was so interesting. But anyway, social injury essentially is having people disapprove of you. Yeah? If you do something today in public that invites the social spotlight, then we have this deep primal fear of what other people might think, because it means that the tribe has disapproved of us. And nobody wants that, right? Like, as a guy, you can be called a dick. You can be called an arsehole, right? We don't really mind that. But if we're called creepy, a weird guy, an outcast, that hurts us, right? On a tribal level, no guy wants to be the outcast. No guy wants to get shunned by the tribe. And what you'll find is the more you start to put your head above the parapet, you invite criticism, okay? But the thing that I teach to my clients is, if you want to become a social beast in 2026 and beyond, it's not about avoiding the social spotlight, it's embracing the spotlight, because avoidance amplifies anxiety. Action alleviates it. Write that down, that's a banger. Avoidance amplifies anxiety. Action alleviates it. In other words, action makes it feel better. What you resist persists, okay? So the best thing you can do to become more socially confident is start doing things that risk social injury. So in a practical sense, what this could be is approaching a girl today on a busy street where you feel as though lots of people are watching. It could be recording a 30-second video of yourself in a really busy public area. This is an exercise that I get my clients to do before they do any cold approaches. And it's really interesting because a lot of guys find these social freedom videos or challenges, they find them a lot harder than cold approach. But that's the point. Because if you can start off your day doing something that risks social injury, everything else will feel easier in comparison. It's the same way that I start off my days going to the Muay Thai gym. I go there with the outcome of experiencing godly frequency. I walk out the Muay Thai gym, everything else feels effortless after that because I've stacked the hardest activity first. So becoming a social beast in 2026 is doing things that the general public are not prepared to do, and which might invite skepticism or criticism or disapproval. Because here's the thing, right? If everybody likes you, you are not living, you are hiding. But the way that most men live their lives today is in a state of fear. Oh, if I approach this girl, what will people think of me? If I record myself in public, what will people think of me? If I tell my friends I'm going to go to the Muay Thai gym because I want to improve myself, what if they reject me? What if they shame me? Yeah? And this is the thing that holds so many men back and they don't even realize it. It's not your open, it's not your conversation skills, it's not the way you dress. So many men, the reason why they don't live the dating lives, the social lives, the professional lives that they don't want to live is because of shame. Shame. And it's not a sexy topic. Yeah? You don't walk down, you don't go to the pub with your mates and say, hey guys, I'm experiencing a lot of shame today. Like, nobody talks about that shit. But it's the thing that castrates so many men of their confidence. And it was Jung that said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. A lot of guys are looking for 5 easy tricks to get any woman into bed. They're looking for shiny objects. They're looking for cold approach to save their fucking lives. When really a lot of guys need to do the inner work. A lot of guys need to come to terms with their shame. And a lot of guys, they need to radically forgive themselves. I've been speaking about this a lot lately, but I know a lot of people are new to my content. And I think that we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught, because reiteration is consolidation. The thing that you can do in 2026 to become a social beast, to live the life that you know you're capable of living, to attract the women you know you're capable of attracting, is to forgive yourself for everything. Yeah? To just forgive yourself, dude. Because you might feel it when you're in conversations with women. You might feel as though there's tension there. You might feel as though there's something missing. You might feel as though it's not really you in that conversation. And what often happens with guys is they look for techniques. They look for breathing exercises. They look for the approach anxiety annihilator. Bah, 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 bah. You know, $247 does fuck all for you, apart from make your bank account depleted. It's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's who you are when you say it, or even more nuanced, it's who you perceive yourself to be when you say it. I can walk into any social interaction now, and whatever happens, like whatever the outcome, I know that I'll be okay. And I've fully accepted, and it's taken me a long time to get here. And I have my moments, like anybody. I'm a work in progress, just like everybody else. But for so many decades of my life, I really hated the person that I was. Yeah, I really hated me. And the ability to actually confront that and realize, yeah, there are a lot of things in my past that I'm not proud of. There have been people that I've hurt. There's been promises that I've broken. There have been former iterations of me that I look back now, I'm not proud of those people. You know, I'm not proud of the person that I was 5 or 6 years ago when I was addicted to porn. I was jacking myself off into a Slazenger sock every single night. I was getting blackout drunk on the weekends just to escape a life that I hated. My family didn't really rate me. I never really achieved anything in my life. I always worked these dead-end jobs for minimum wage. I worked at a zoo. I cleaned lemur shit off toilets. I worked at a caravan park for a summer. I stacked shelves in Iceland, not the country, the fucking supermarket. It was a come down for me as well. I didn't have faith in myself for a long time. That's what confidence is, confident, which means with faith. And I realized that even when I started to achieve some level of, we'll call it success, it felt like something was missing. It felt like I would show up on camera. It felt like I would show up in cold approach conversations. I would coach clients. And it felt like something was missing. And I realized it was because I hadn't truly forgiven myself for the person that I used to be. And this is probably going to be the thing that sets you free in 2026 as well. I'm not saying don't take massive action. Yeah, of course, you have to do that. 100 direct cold approaches, no fucking excuses, you little bitch. But being able to radically forgive yourself for all the bullshit, all the mistakes you've made, all the fuck-ups that you're guilty of making, this is going to be the thing that really helps you in 2026, because you don't want to build something on bad foundations, yeah? So I think that in 2026, being a social beast, it's not just about the things that you do, it's the person who you are. I think that if you can learn to just make the decision today, I think it's quite cathartic going into the new year as well. I think it's symbolic of change and transformation. Leave the former version of yourself behind in 2025. Yeah, symbolically, just say to yourself today, all the bullshit, all the mistakes, all the fuck-ups, I wholeheartedly forgive myself. And you'll just feel this relief. Yeah, you'll feel this relief that, I don't know if you ever read the Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. That's a fucking niche reference for you. But in the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, there's a mariner, and he has an albatross around his neck, right? And it's like this long poem, but eventually the albatross is just released from his neck. And that's kind of the way that I see most men today. I think a lot of men, they have this albatross around their neck and they don't even realize it because we don't know what we don't know, yeah? And the moment somebody gives you permission to say, listen, it's okay, I've got you, you're gonna be fine, you'll feel the relief, you'll feel that big fucking bird just fall off your neck and you'll feel reincarnated, you'll feel like a new person, you'll feel like you can achieve anything. That's a daily practice as well though, right? We have to be forgiving ourselves every single day. We do need to be a best friend to ourselves. We need to be our own biggest cheerleader. And look, I'm a practical man. I like practical solutions. I like going to the Muay Thai gym. I like doing sprints up hills. I like solo traveling. I like cold approaching. I like to fuck. I like things which make me feel like a man. I like things that make me feel alive. But I can also hold space for the more nurturing, caring side of human nature. Because, dude, we're all born from the masculine and from the feminine, right? When a child falls off a climbing frame, first of all, he needs a tender love and care from its mother. It's okay, I've got you, you'll be fine. But then, It needs no bullshit, dogmatic analytics from the dad. Why'd you fall off the climbing frame? How can we stop that from happening again? And I've got this quirky, I'd say rare ability to be able to hold space for both of these. So I started off this live stream in this, in bravado state, like I'm the fucking best, I can do anything, yada, yada, yada. But I also have the emotional intelligence, the emotional bravery to understand that sometimes people just need a fucking hug. Sometimes you just need to be told it's going to be okay. Sometimes we just need to be told you'll be all right. I've got you. Yeah. So I think being able to forgive yourself going into 2026, I think that's going to be a big thing for guys. I really do. But going back to the topic of social injury, I'd say do something today that scares the living shit out of you. Yeah, it might be recording a video of yourself in a busy place. It might be doing your very first daytime call approach. It might just be walking over to a girl. Maybe if you've already got skin in the game, maybe it's just doing an approach that really scares you. So it might be doing an approach where the girl is with her mum, or the girl's with her parents, or the girl is with her friend, or approaching a girl in a coffee shop, approaching a girl in a lingerie shop, approaching a girl on a really busy street. Like, if you can start to risk social injury and realize that it's not going to kill you, nothing bad is going to happen if you approach a girl today, then it tells your mind this is okay for you to do. And what you'll find is it starts to rewire all of this primitive programming, the social conditioning that's currently holding you back. Because that's what it is, dude. If you're like the guys that I work with, I'm not going to be teaching you conversational gambits. I'm not going to be teaching you how to approach a girl. Like, dude, the information is already there. I don't do information coaching. I do implementation, right? I just push my guys into 100 approaches in 3 days, and I give them support until they're happy with the place that they've got to. But it's not going to be tricks or techniques. It's going to be truths, okay? That's going to be the thing that changes your dating life in 2026. So forgive yourself and start doing something. Just do something today that makes you feel scared. But yeah, if you're enjoying this live stream at the moment, drop it a like. I know that we zigzag all over the place, but you've probably got used to this now if you're a long time Casanovian. I'm just going to take a sip of this water because I'm parched. But yeah, look, if you want to become a social beast in 2026 and this content has helped you in any way this year, drop the live stream a like because I want everybody who wants to be successful with dating, with business, with social dynamics. I want everybody who wants to be successful to become successful. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Too fucking right. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this work. I know that what I'm doing, it's like I'm living my life like I'm already a billionaire. I just don't have the money in my pocket yet. Like, I'm living my life like I'm already the most famous fuckable man on the planet. I'm just waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. This is how I live my life now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just walk through the world now every day. I've just got this insatiable sense of self-adoration. Like, I came out the Muay Thai gym today. I was just doing some like little fucking dances as I was walking to the train. Oh, actually, that's a really good story for today because I've practiced what I preach. I got the Muay Thai gym today, yeah, and I stunk like absolute shit. I smelled like a decomposed ferret in Karachi. It was disgusting. Like I sweat very easy. Like, I just sweat very easy. Like, all I need to do is just like fucking move my pinky finger, and I'm sweating like a fat girl in a sweet shop. And I got the Muay Thai gym today, absolutely caked in my own body odor. And I stunk like shit, and I forgot to pack my deodorant in my bag. I knew that I was going to be getting on the train. Like, if you've ever been on the BTS in Bangkok, people, like, we're kind of like squished together like sardines. And it was a part of me, because I'm still prone to this fear of what other people think as well. It's not about, before I narrate the story, just understand this. It's not necessarily about eradicating the fear. It's more about embracing it. It's learning how to dance with it and almost ask ourselves, how can I be with this? Yeah, like, how can I be with this? Because I think a lot of guys, the reason why you've got so much anxiety is because you're trying to escape it. Yeah, you're trying to fix something, but that anxiety is not an illness, it's an emotion. And like all emotions, we can learn how to be with it. Yeah, like when I cold approach, when I go to Muay Thai, when I make these live streams, when I record myself in public, when I get onto the BTS and I smell like a decomposed sardine, like, I still feel these emotions. It's just the only thing that's different now is I've just learned how to be with it. Yeah, it's like, okay, no matter what happens, I'll be able to handle it, right? Throw me in hell, I'll find a way to enjoy it. That's been the biggest shift for me over these 5 years, is not trying to get rid of these feelings, but just learning how to be with it. Oh, I feel anxious. Oh, I feel scared. Oh, I feel uncertain. that's okay. We've been here before. Oh, and also, before I narrate this story, I think what's really useful to understand is, you know, when you're in situations and you feel out of your depth, maybe you're experiencing imposter syndrome, maybe you're speaking with a girl and you're almost surprised by your own success. She's laughing, she's giggling, she's playing with her hair. You're almost surprised by that. It's like, well, why me? Why the fuck does she like me? I think what we seldom realize is we've got this inner child inside of us, and usually the voices that are in our heads, they're coming from a former version of us. So like when you're telling yourself, oh, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm unsure, there's a 6 or a 6, 7, there's a 7 or 8-year-old version of you who's in there who just wants to feel like he's okay, just wants to feel loved and important and significant. Because maybe like me, you had a bit of a fucked up childhood. Maybe you didn't come from an emotionally stable family. Maybe you had a lot of shit that you had to go through that maybe no child should ever have to experience, but maybe you did. And maybe there's still resentment there. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know you personally, but something that I probably can guarantee is there is a child inside of you who is scared, who is nervous, and who is terrified. And when you're in cold approach conversations, or you're making content online, or you're doing a presentation at work, it's not you who's scared of the spotlight. It's that child inside of you. It was Freud that said the adult is developed to protect the child. So the adult that we become is designed to protect the child that we once were. But there's no escaping from it. And this is why I love what I do so much, because it's not just talking to women. It's liberation through action, right? When you're doing difficult social activities, when you're pushing yourself, when you're doing things that you would rather not do, like cold approaching, martial arts, making content online, recording yourself in public, walking through the street with your shirt off, like, if you can understand that you're doing it to tell the child within you it's going to be okay, that just changes the game. It changed the game for me anyway, because I'm like, fuck, it's not just about me. I'm almost doing this to undo generational trauma. And I think that's fucking cool. But anyway, I got into the BTS today. I smelled like absolute shit. And there was a part of me that didn't want to get on the train, so I just knew when I get on the train, everybody's going to be able to smell me. I was scared of being seen as an outcast, right? And I'm like, it's so interesting, because one of my biggest fears as a child was I used to break out into these sweating fits at school whenever I got put on the spot to answer questions. And I really hated the social spotlight, because whenever I got put on the spot to answer questions, and this was up to university as well, like when I was at university, I had to go to these very intimate lectures, so sometimes there was only 10 people, and a lot of times the rooms were really, really hot, especially in the winter. They had the heating cranked up. So what I would do is I would make sure I got to the lecture room 15 minutes early, just so I could turn the radiators down and open the window, because I was so terrified of, fuck, what if I walk in there, what if I start sweating, what if I get put on the spot to answer a question and then everybody sees that I'm sweating? What if everybody sees that I'm weird or I'm an outcast? They're going to think it's so weird. Like, so that kind of came back into my brain today. I'm like, fuck, what if I walk onto the BTS, the Bangkok train system? And, you know, what if people think badly of me? What if I, like, smell disgusting? I'm like, do you know what, mate? Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Like, in 100 years' time, all of us are going to be dead. And the train ride was only 15 minutes as well. But I was like, so I stepped into the train. I'm like, yeah, I can talk about this on the live stream today, because I know what it feels like to be socially uncomfortable. I understand what it feels like to have people looking at you. And it's interesting as well, because perception's reality. If I walk onto a BTS, I'm like, oh, I stink of shit, everyone's going to look at me, then it's like I will interpret their looks as disgust. But if I walk onto the BTS, the exact same person, dressed in the exact same way, and I'm not smelling, and everybody looks at me, I'll be like, oh yeah, they probably want to bang me. So it's interesting how perception's reality, do you know what I mean? Even if it's not true, we make it true by believing in it, which I find is quite interesting. But yeah, just getting comfortable with social injury. But I think, you know, in 2026, I think the best way to become a social beast, like, assuming you've got the basics taken care of, so you've got momentum behind you, you're building something cool, you actually like yourself to an extent, I think there's going to be no escape from doing the difficult or the most difficult social skill, which is daytime cold approach. Yeah, so if you want to become a social beast in 2026, the thing that I say to everybody is talk is cheap. Yeah, I've got to a point now where I'm fed up of what guys tell me that they're going to do, right? Evidence has got the loudest voice. So if you want to be a social beast, if you want to master the art of daytime call approach, then stop being another one of these guys who's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. Okay, when are you going to do it? What about today? Why don't you go out today and do an approach? Oh, no, I can't do it today because, yeah, I'm working. To be honest, bro, I think I just need to spend a little bit more time to think about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, dude, what is there to fucking think about? What are you going to think about? Because belief follows action, right? You can't think your way into a confident state. But the whole point of this channel, is to push you into radical action, yeah? So if you are serious about mastering the art of daytime call approach, allow your actions to align with your ambitions. Do 100 approaches in 7 days. That's what I say to anybody, right? If you want to learn the skill in the fastest possible time, maybe you don't have the resources for coaching right now, or maybe you just don't resonate with me as an individual, fuck knows. Why are you watching this live stream, motherfucker? Then just 7 days, do 15 approaches every single day for 7 days. That will allow you to build momentum, show yourself that approaching women is not that scary. You'll get some reference experience, so you'll learn how to overcome objections. You'll learn how to dance in that conversation. You'll learn how to set the right intention, have an outcome in mind. You'll overcome that initial resistance. So I think becoming a social beast in 2026, daytime call approach, dude. Like, I think going into 2026, the most lethal combination is the guys who've unlocked the skill of daytime call approach and they become elite at it, and the guys who've also got a compelling Instagram profile. Because if you've got elite level social skills and you've got a compelling Instagram profile, it's basically game over. You can have a rockstar dating life. Yeah, and that's available to anybody who wants it, by the way. Any guy can do 100 daytime call approaches. Any guy can build a compelling Instagram profile. If you want help doing all this stuff, then that's why I put my free school community together. In that community, I've got a whole video which teaches you how to build a magnetic Instagram profile, and I've got over 60 hours of the best call approach content ever produced. So it's available to anybody who wants it. First link below this video. You can start your personal renaissance journey today. You don't even need to pay me a fucking penny. But yeah, there's going to be no excuses to have not been investing heavily into the skill of daytime call approach, because daytime call approach is the most aggressive form of self-development. Every other social interaction is going to feel easier in comparison. But there's something else that I put down here, and I think this is really interesting. I want to share this with you because I think that this is going to sabotage a lot of guys' success in 2026. It's one of those things that, it's one of those like ugly, uncomfortable truths that most guys don't want to face. So let me just take a drink because I'm getting parched. But if you're enjoying the live stream at the moment, if you want to be a social beast in 2026, if my content has helped you 1% this year, drop the live stream a like, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going all the way to the top, dude. Like, if you're watching me right now, this is like Bitcoin in 2008. You're an early mover, you're an early adopter. 10 years from now, you won't even be able to afford my fucking services. I'm going to be like, whew, on Neptune, mate, on Neptune. But yeah, if you're coming across me now, you lucky fucker. But yeah, take advantage of the advantage whilst you've still got the advantage. Who said that? Tyson Fury? Maybe. Lol. Lol, lol, lol. Okay. Fucking hell. Whew. Sorry, the live stream's not froze. I was just taking a moment. Okay, so the thing that is also going to help you in 2026, this is one of those things that most guys don't want to face, is to cut the romantic umbilical cord. All right? Cut the romantic umbilical cord. This is a problem for a lot of guys because it's actually crazy, right? I'm going to tell you something fucking crazy. It'll blow your little socks off. So I've built an Instagram profile recently. And the great thing about Instagram is I can finally see the faces of people that follow me. And what I find really peculiar is I'll be getting followers every single day. And from time to time, somebody will follow me. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There's 2 people on his Instagram profile picture. Oh, let's go over. And motherfucker, it's guys with pictures of their girlfriends who are following my content. And for me, there's something kind of weird about this because, like, if you've got a girlfriend right now, or if you're in a relationship, maybe you're about to get engaged, then if you're following my content, then surely what that tells you is you're not satisfied with the relationship you've currently got, right? Because here's the problem. I think a lot of guys are terrified of cutting the romantic umbilical cord. I think a lot of guys have got extremely comfortable being comfortable. But really, in 2026, if you want to be a social beast, you need to have a no bullshit look at yourself and your life, right? If you've got a woman in your life right now and it's like, she'll do, but it's not what you really want, and you're almost delaying the inevitable breakup because you're a little bitch, then that's going to castrate you with your confidence, right? If you're in a relationship right now with a girl that's not really doing it for you, but you're just keeping hold of her, you know, for the winter, or if you're in a situationship, maybe you're even fucking married, and your wife is just not doing it for you. Maybe you've got troubles at home. Maybe the relationship is just starting to get a bit toxic. You're not going to be a social beast in 2026 if you've still got this albatross hanging around your neck. Yeah? Because, you know, for me 5 years ago, I was in a long-term relationship. I'd met her parents. I think most people would have thought we were going to get married one day. And when I saw my very first daytime cold approach video, I saw a guy approaching girls on YouTube. I made the decision that day to call things off with my girlfriend. And then this was extremely uncharacteristic of me because I'd never broken up with anybody in my entire life. I'd always been the guy to have been broken up with. But when I saw that first cold approach video, it illuminated the path towards who I could be in the future. Not just for women, but it signified freedom. I'm like, fuck, if I can learn this skill and become elite at it, I can build a business, I can inspire a generation of men, I can feel like a socially sovereign savage. But I think for a lot of guys, you are held back by your inability to take ruthless action, right? So if you're in a situationship right now with a girl and it's like, oh, she'll do, you're settling for what you think you can get rather than going after what you actually want, then for me, if you know deep down that the relationship is going to end at some point, then surely the best thing to do is just call it off today, because it's like this burn the boat strategy, right? It's like the moment you call things off, now you're alone in the wilds, right? There's no going back. You've cut the ties. So now the only way forward is forward. Now you're going to have to grow a set of balls. Now you're going to have to actually start putting yourself out there, doing 100 cold approaches, getting rejected time and time and time again, realizing that you're actually not that fuckable, realizing you're not that confident, realizing that you might have had situational confidence when you met your other half down the pub 10 years ago, but without her, oh shit, now I actually have to do the work. Now I actually have to learn more about myself. I have to forge a new identity through the fires of adversity. So I think what guys need to do is you need to get comfortable making uncomfortable decisions, right? Because if I hadn't have broke up with my girlfriend 5 years ago, I never would have been doing what I'm doing today. And it's uncomfortable, it's scary, I get it. You bungee jumping into the unknown. But, you know, if you're watching my content and you feel this pull, right? You feel this sensation that you want more from your life. Yeah, you want to be dating hotter women, making more money, living an international lifestyle. Maybe you're one of those guys at the moment and like, you know, you're like, oh, I can't cold approach because, you know, I've got a partner, I've got a job, and it's like, yeah, mate, I did as well. Yeah, I did. I had a job 5 years ago. I had a girlfriend 5 years ago. I was living in a city. Like, all of this shit, dude. It's like, how much longer are you going to make these excuses, right? Because there is always going to be a reason why you can't do the thing that you want to do. But I realized 5 years ago, no one was coming to save me. And I realized as well, I was just done with the bullshit. I was done with being a loser. I was done being this low frequency, fucking whatever, loser. So I think being able to just cut the romantic umbilical cord and pursuing a life of mystery, excellence, and adventure, I think that's going to be one of the biggest separators, because I think that a lot of guys are just they're stuck in the comfort quicksand of complacency, right? They're with a girl, oh, she'll do. Oh, I really want a cold approach. I really want to become more fuckable. Oh, I really want to, you know, move cities and travel the world and maybe make a personal brand online. But I've got this girl. Oh, I've got this friendship group. Oh, I've got this job. You know, the way that I've always seen it is we get one shot at this thing that we call life. So why the fuck would you want to live it in a place of mediocrity? Well, that's just me. You know, it's your life. Do what you want to do. But yeah, I just find that for me, it's about falling in love with the feeling that you want to experience. Because, you know, around this time of the year, I always get resistance towards sitting down and filing my tax return, right? But it's something that I know that I need to do. It's boring. I don't like admin work. I don't enjoy, sitting down and doing this shit. But I understand that once I've done the quote unquote boring work, the feeling that I'm going to feel is relief, is peace, is a sensation of joy. So this is why I started off this live stream by saying to you, if you can determine the outcome ahead of time and fall in love with that feeling, then it gives you a clear North Star, because emotions are the thing that run the world, right? Feelings, everything we do is for the feeling that it gives us. So I think if you can decide what is the feeling that you want to have. So if you're with a girl right now and the relationship's not working, what's the feeling that you want to have? You probably want to have a feeling of freedom, of peace, of clarity. So I think if you fall in love with that feeling, the decision is easy, right? And also, I'd say it's a humane thing to do as well. Like, if you're with a girl and you don't want her, you just want someone, and your loyalty is based off of scarcity, and you've not become the version of yourself who knows he can replace that relationship, then you're kind of in a relationship with a stranger, right? You're living a lie. You know deep down you don't want her, you just want someone. So, yeah, I'd say cut the romantic umbilical cord. Pursue a life of mystery, excellence, and adventure. Get ready to get rejected. Get ready to be given undesirable feedback. Get ready to grow into the man that you've always wanted to be, but maybe you've been too scared to become that version of yourself. So yeah, cut the romantic umbilical cord. I think that will allow you to become a social beast in 2026 and beyond. I've kind of already spoke about this last point, but I'll just drill it down one more time. The final thing that I wanted to give to you, and again, if you want to become a social beast in 2026, if you're done with the bullshit and the excuses and you are ready to reinvent yourself, then drop the live stream a like and go and get my free shit. I've got over 60 hours of the best cold approach content ever produced. First link below this video, it's yours, completely free. Let's go into 2026 being absolute social weapons. So yeah, if you want to become a social beast, prove it. Get into that free school community. Start gobbling up the best content ever produced on cold approach. The final thing that I wanted to leave you with is becoming a social beast. What I found is a lot of guys think it's about techniques, right? Conversation skills, conversational gambits. What I found is your state beats techniques, right? So when you're in a high frequency state, everything else feels easy. You're able to experience success in advance. You remove all the doubt. You remove all the hesitation. And what I found is if you can get consistent doing intense physical activity, it's going to explode your dating life, your social life. You'll be able to make more money. I found that the guys who train some form of martial arts do very well when it comes to daytime cold approach. Because if I meet a guy and he tells me he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, or he's trained some form of martial arts, maybe boxing, maybe Muay Thai, maybe BJJ, then I just know that guy is going to excel with daytime cold approach because he's already proved he's got the character traits for it, okay? So I would say that going into 2026, doing some form of martial arts will actually skyrocket your dating life. And look, I started training Muay Thai last year, right? So I've been training for a year now. I would have been the last person who ever expected myself to train martial arts, right? I just didn't, it never crossed my mind, like, especially when I was a kid. I was more like, I always used to tell myself this bullshit, like, oh, I'm more of a creative, I'm more artsy, and it's like, no, you just fucking scared me. So, training martial arts for the past year, everything's improved, dude. I've made more money, I have a better sex life, I feel more confident, I feel more capable. Everything just feels right now. I feel like martial arts had been the thing that I was missing. So now, with elite level cold approach skills, a year of Muay Thai training, having done solo skydives, solo travel to over 35 different countries, making this fucking revolution online, I just feel at peace. I just feel capable. I'm just like, fuck, I've proven myself in so many different disciplines. But with martial arts, I think what martial arts teaches you is emotional resilience, is persistence, is patience. You learn that you're not going to become a black belt in a weekend, right? So I find that the guys who understand martial arts or intense physical activity, they do very well with cold approach because, dude, cold approach, it's not for soft people. This is what guys don't understand. I think a lot of guys today are soft, right? A lot of guys have lost their balls and they think that cold approach is going to be the answer to all their fucking problems. No. Like, cold approach is not for normal, soft individuals, right? It's for mavericks, it's for rebels, it's for renegades. It's for guys who either have hardened themselves by doing difficult things or want to harden themselves by doing difficult things. Like, this is one of my motivations for starting cold approach was, yeah, I wanted to get laid. Yeah, I wanted to have a rock star dating life. Yeah, I wanted to attract higher quality women. But the thing that really appealed for me with cold approach was that it was difficult. Like, I don't know about you, But if you're anything like me, I've always been attracted to the more obscure side of life. I've always wanted to learn skills that most men wouldn't do. I think that comes from my deep internal need for a sense of significance, right? So, cold approach, being a magician, doing solo skydives, training martial arts, solo traveling, creating content online. I've always enjoyed the pursuit of excellence when the outcome isn't guaranteed, right? Because this is what I say to people that apply to work with me, right? There is no fucking guarantees. Even though I'm the best in the world at what I do, this works as long as you do, right? If I pay a personal trainer $15,000 a year and he's the best personal trainer on the planet, he can't stop me stuffing my face with Krispy Kreme at 5 p.m. on a Thursday, right? When I hire mentors, when I invest money into my own self-development, I'm not looking for guarantees. I'm not looking for the guy to sell me the fucking destination and be like, oh yeah, this is what's good. I'm like, dude, I don't need that, right? I understand, even if I invest a lot of money into my own personal renaissance, the money just gives me access, right? It's up to me. Right? It's up to me to actually do something with it. So the personal trainer can't lift the weight for you. I think this is where a lot of guys get it twisted. They think that, oh, I'll work with Christian, all my problems are going to be solved. No, I will give you accountability. I will give you feedback. I will give you an individually tailored game plan, one-on-one in-person coaching. I'll connect you with the most capable wingmen on the planet. But it's up to you. Like, how badly do you want this? Yeah? Because even though I was a magician for a decade, I can't magic up your dream dating life. You need to work for it. You need to be prepared, not to do your best, but to do what is necessary. So I think that training something like martial arts, it equips you perfectly for daytime call pro. Don't use it as an avoidance mechanism, like, oh, you know, like this guy, yeah. It's like, oh, I want to become a social beast in 2026. Oh, I'll do martial arts first. Do it all together. Just do all of it. Right? Fucking train like a savage, call a pro, do 100 approaches, record the audio of your conversations, fucking leave your job, travel to a new place, get rid of the girl like you're currently in a relationship with. It's like, you can do a lot in 30 days as well. This is what a lot of guys don't realize. Like, you can have, I would say, the final thing I'll say, if you can set the intention for January, have your personal renaissance mission, right? And if you can make a list of all the things that you don't want to do and just do as many of those things as possible, because usually, it's about minimizing the time between thought and action. And usually, the most difficult, uncomfortable decisions lead to the fastest growth. So it's like, if you know you're shit scared to do martial arts, if you're shit scared to do 100 call approaches, if you're shit scared to create content online, like, make a list of everything that you're terrified of doing. We'll call it a terror list. And just start doing those things, man. That's what it's about. Yeah, the version of me 5 years ago, I just made the decision to make myself as viciously uncomfortable as possible and just started doing things, you know, rep by rep, approach by approach, video by video. And I'm fucking exhilarated. I'm so proud of the person that I am. I wouldn't swap places with anybody else on this planet. And I can say that crystal clear clarity. If somebody offered me $10 billion to give up everything that I've got, like, okay, this is actually a really good thing. If somebody said to me, Christian, I will pay you $10 billion to stop doing what you're doing, right? You can have all the money in the world, but you're no longer allowed to create content. You're no longer allowed to call approach. You're no longer allowed to do the things that you're currently doing, but you can live anywhere in the world. You can have $10 billion. You're never going to have to be stressed about money again. I would say to that person, go fuck yourself, you fat fucker, because I don't give a fuck about that. Purpose is my greatest currency. I feel alive and I feel electric right now. And that's the reason I'm a social beast. Because again, it's not the words that I'm using, it's not my delivery, it's who I've become, right? And it's not happened by luck, it's happened by design. Because now I feel so fulfilled in my life that I don't need anything from anybody, right? I want things. I want to make sure that the people that I love are taken care of. I want to make sure that I am the most fuckable, disciplined version of myself. I want to be a good person. But at the same time, it's like purpose over everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think a lot of guys are lacking right now. You know, becoming a social beast is, you know, how satisfied are you with your current reality? Because if you're working a job you hate in a city you despise, if you've got these empire visions to build a business, to solo travel, to go to these exotic locations, maybe train martial arts in Bangkok, it's like, if you've got this vision for your fucking life, dude, then that is your North Star. And it's not doing your best, it's doing what's necessary. Because all these things, really, it's about the identity that you assume. Yeah, it's not chasing a goal, it's chasing an identity. So it's like, who do I need to become to live the life that I want to live? Yeah, what are the character traits that I need to install? I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was really interesting. And the host asked his guest about like how to know what character traits you want to embody. And the guy was like, imagine you get put in jail, right? Just imagine for some unknown reason you get put in jail. Who is the first person you'd reach out to get you out of jail? Because if you can think of somebody in your life right now, like the person that you would call to get you out of that difficult situation, why them? Because usually it's the person that they are, it's their character traits, it's their skill level, it's their belief system. So it's like that thought experiment is really useful because if you find these people, these desirable character traits, it's like, what do these people have that you don't? And then that becomes the game. It's like, how do I develop these character traits, these skills, these beliefs, right? How do I become the version of myself who's capable of living the reality that I want to live? So if you've enjoyed this live stream, first link below this video, you can get the best cold approach content that's ever been produced on the internet, completely free. There's over 60 hours of free material from live cold approach demonstrations, me coaching my clients one-on-one in the fields. You can see plenty of videos of me being rejected. I'll teach you how to come, I'll teach you how to come. That's in my Sex God Mastery module. That's $69. I'm not going to teach you how to come. You can do that yourself, dirty fucker. But yeah, there's a shitload of stuff in there. Best content that's ever been produced on Cold Approach. In the new year as well, I'm going to start doing live webinars. So it's your chance to interact with me live. How nice. So yeah, everything's going to be in there. I'm dominating the dating industry. All these other fucking morons who are like, oh, I'm a coach, oh, I'm a whatever. It's like, I'm just going to fucking chop all the heads off because nobody can compete with what I'm doing. And this is the only channel that you ever need to watch in regards to Cold Approach, social mastery, becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. This year, like 2026, like no bullshit, this is going to be my best year. And I just know it. I already feel it. Do you know what I mean? Like I can already see the future. Like this time, a year from now, when I'm doing another live stream, I'm going to be like, boys, this has been the best year ever. Why? Because I decided. Yeah, I decided. And that's what you'll find in your life as well. A lot of things, it just starts off with a decision. So make the decision today. You are going to do whatever it takes to become a social beast in 2026. And yeah, if you're serious about transformation, get all the free content below. Drop this live stream a like. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not a little nonce. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow. All right, love you. Bye.